lot of times what customers will ask us is, well, why is Agile making the project more effective? Why is it less expensive? Why is it faster? What's going to happen is the result you get from an Agile process is totally aligned with your business goals if you pay attention to it. So you're going to get more for what you spend. Let's pretend for a minute that you're going to spend 100 hours of work on a project, just to use a number for fun. A lot of projects, when you do the traditional methodologies, spend 30 hours of work on what they're actually doing and 70 hours of work identifying what they're not going to do. An Agile project, if it's really good, will get up to 80 to 90 hours of work on what you're actually using and only have 10 to 20 hours of waste.
And the great strength of using that methodology is to be able to react to changes. Every project, something changes.
We're able to stop for a second every 30 days or every day, depending on which part you're looking at, and decide, are we on the right track to get us to our goal?
A lot of times when our customers are using Agile for the first time as part of their Guidewire project, there is a lot of resistance initially. I think as part of those first few sprint reviews, when some of the business users start to see actual work and demonstrations of configurations within that first month of the project, and that they can provide feedback on that work, they start to see a lot of the value in that type of approach. It's not so much that we need to convince the customer, meaning Guidewire, they start to see the value themselves once we get into and through those first few sprints.
To be effective, we need really good communication between business and IT. And we talk about the practices that you have to follow a project. Well, when we do Agile, we want business and IT to work next to each other in the sprints. The best success we have is when we sit at the end of sprint retrospective and the business person is standing there talking about the functionality that was introduced during the sprint and demonstrating it and saying, okay, here's what we did, here's what the screens look like, but this is why we did it, and here's the business emphasis we're looking for. And the IT person is standing next to them, very proud of what they coded, but the business person is proud of the functionality. That's a win for us. And if we come into a project where business and IT are looking at how do I protect myself? How do I get sign off on each thing? That's a failure. So I've come to some customers and I've watched how they're trying to plan a project and they talk about all these protections and sign offs. And I said, well, are you planning to defend yourself if your project fails? Or are you planning to celebrate? Because Guidewire projects, we want to celebrate.
One of the important things with using Agile for an implementation project is one size does not fit all. Every customer makes some changes if they adopt an Agile methodology, because there will be things that will work in their environment and things that won't work from how we've done it elsewhere. We're very flexible about working with a customer, whether it's how they structure it, what they call it, but the core principles with using Agile remain the same. The application of those principles changes to meet the customer needs.